Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I can't wait to bring you this stamp, die, and stencil collections from Casual Friday Stamps. They're so much fun to play with. I can't wait to show you what I did with them, so come play with us. All right, so let me walk you through what each one of these are. So for this one right here, we've got a stamp and die set. So cute. This one's called Big Thanks. It's got these great little seriously you're the best, you shouldn't have, but I'm so glad you did. This wonderful font with thanks in it, and then two dies. One is so you can cut out the thanks, and the other one is you can put a mat behind it, okay? And then we've also got Sassy Smile Duo. So once again, cute little stamp set. This one not only has the smile die, the matte die, but also a couple of little dies for hearts and stars and little flowers there. And then this one is the Swirls Stencil. I think that's what this one's called. Yes, it is. Swirls Stencil, and I used it on this card right here. So if you can see the little sparkle I've got going on this card, this is a 5 by 6.5 inch card. For my background paper, I used Flowing ink by Hot Off the Press. I used it in the 12 by 12. And for this, I was looking for one of the papers that had a little bit of a lighter edge to that, and I used that edge so that my stencil would really show up. And then I also used these wonderful butterfly stencils. These are 117, did I say stencils? Stickers, Dazzle stickers, 117 beautiful butterfly Dazzle stickers, and I used it in this sort of silvery pearl finish, and then I backed it with one of the pink colors of the Flowing ink. Just really beautiful. And then I stenciled this great little stencil. I just used black ink right over that, and then I added a little bit of gold glitter glue, little stickles, of course not on every one of the dots, just maybe 3 in a row here and then 2 in a row here. Just kind of randomly filled that in just because I wanted a little bit of sparkle on that. So let that dry. I also stamp and embossed right here, "You're my best friend," and there's nothing you can do about it. Little sassy there. So I stamped that with a translucent ink. You could also, this one is Watermark by Spectrumar. You could also use Versamark. And then I used some gold embossing powder for that. And then on the inside, I stamped the smiles, the smile stamp there, and used just one shade of ink. I think this was Arctic Blue or Arctic Mist. It's on the supply list. And I just did a real heavy amount at the bottom of the stamp and then just a light amount of ink at the top. All right, so yeah, that was really a fun one to make and very easy. So for this next little collection here, look at these adorable little birds. They're little Birdies stamps. So a little birdie told me it's your birthday, and then I loved this. Don't worry, because every little thing's gonna be all right. A little reference to the song. And colored these in with Spectrum Noir pens. And the colors I used, let's see if I can find them. Here we go. I used Citrus Green, True Blue, and Purple Blend. Stamped them with Tuxedo Black Memento ink pad. And then I also should mention what I love to stamp on and color with is Hunky Dory's Lightweight Essential Card Block. Okay, there's 75 sheets in here. It feels like there's way more. And I use this, I love to stamp on that. So I did that, and then I die cut an oval, okay, using this rather ramshackled sample of the 12 oval and scallop cutting dies. My nesting kind of got messed up there. And then also with a black mat. And then I used a little bit of Mauve Moment ink just around the edges there. And then the paper here on my 5 by 6.5 inch card is from a brand new paper pack. This is Hydrangea Heaven, and it's 12 by 12. I used this one right here, love, love, love this whole collection. It's gorgeous. And then put that all together, my little sentiments I just stamped on white cardstock, inked those a little bit with that mauve moment, and then foam taped those to the card. Of course, add a little bit of my glimmer ribbon there. All right, so we've also got this stamp set. This one is called Frankly-isms, okay? They're just sort of sassy little sayings. This is the oldest you've ever been. I'm still younger than you. I need to use those for my brother. He's 4 years older than me, and I like to call him all kinds of silly names. So these are just really fun, sort of happy birthday sassy sayings. And then we've got this one, which is also a happy birthday. This is shenanigans, and I love this. Happy birthday, it's your happy birthday, let the shenanigans begin, make a wish, then blow out the bonfire. So for that set, I used them on this center step card. So here we go, we've got the center step that are already pre-cut for you. They come with envelopes, but we've also got, wanted to remind you, if you're into cutting dies, we've also got this in a die cut, so you can make as many as you want forever and ever. And I also used with this one. This is the bubbly stencil, okay? And this was really fun to do. I actually die cut a circle using the 12 circle and scallop cutting die. Here we go. And what I did with that, I'm going to show you how I did this really quickly. I put that right here on directly on the card, okay? And then once I finished this whole thing, I do want to mention I used these really pretty rainbow pearls. They're little half pearls. And I just chose some in some orange and yellow and put that on there. So in order to do this technique though, I went ahead and I took my little die cut circle and I stuck this to the front of my card just using a little bit of low tack tape, okay? And then I went ahead and did the following technique here. So we're gonna just put this right here. And then I actually just took my stencil when I was done doing this first step and I just put that right over the circle. So I've got to get my blending brushes here. I like the little set of 4. And I started out by selecting, golly, where are my ink pads? Oh, here we are. All right, so I started off with a little bit of orange. Just going all around the edge there. I got a blotch. Should have known. I need to start out from the side more and work my way in to avoid the dreaded blotch. There we go. And then I wanted to put, once I've got my orange, then I want to put a little yellow. Okay, just like that. And now I'm going to take my circle, or my stencil rather, put that right over the top, a little more tape. I think I'm going to position that so I have a big circle going over that blotch. That's how badly that bothers me. We can always fix it. All right, so now we're going to go back to that orange. And I'm just going to start with some of the bigger circles and get some more of that orange on there and just darken those circles way up. Just like that. And then you can kind of fill in some like that. And now we're going to go to a smaller brush for those small circles, and I like to do those in that yellow. Okay, I won't take the time to do every little circle, but you get the idea. And I get out my cleansing wipes and take care of my brushes, because it just takes one time of putting orange on a card when you thought your brush was clean, and then you learn, clean them as you use them. All right, so now we're gonna just take this off. There's our little polka dots. Just like that. And isn't that fun? All right, so then I went ahead and stamped using red ink. It's your birthday, and then in orange, let the shenanigans begin. Did a little bit of yellow along the edge here, and then to get the polka dots right here on the side of my card, I actually just stuck that in like that, and then just took a piece of paper and placed it here to protect my card, and then just did a little stenciling right on the side there. Okay. Here we go, and I want to make sure I clean this off because we're going to use this again. All right, so for my next card, I actually used the same stencil and this great flower set. And this one is the Flower Duo, and it's got these great little flower stamps with the cutting dies. And this one we're going to actually assemble here. So I did a 6x6 card. I used that same hunky-dory white cardstock for stamping right for my center here. And for this, I actually just took my stencil and I put it here, and I stenciled with Purple Velvet and the Mauve Moment. And then when I was done stenciling it, I turned this over and I stenciled it again. So that way everything is sort of offset like that. All right. And then I wanted to stamp some little flowers here. And before cutting them, I used the purple blend and the dull green blend. Starting off with the medium shade. Let's zoom in, Steve. Oh, I should mention too that I used for my background on my 6x6 card, Dotted Duos #2 paper pack. Covered my 6x6 card and then cut my newly inked dotted paper down to about 5.5-inch square, and then matted that with black cardstock, and went ahead and stamped a little greeting right there in black. So I wanted to make sure that showed up. All right, so what I like to do is sort of color the darker shade. So this is the medium shade. Now, if you're not familiar with Spectrum Noir pens, I like to show this occasionally for the new people visiting us. There's 3 pens in one. There's a dark shade, dark purple, then a medium or mid shade, and then a light shade. And it gives you this wonderful ombre effect, which is great for blending. And you'll notice that I just kind of go into the other color so it blends. So where I've stopped with the darker color, that's where I start with the light color. All right. So I like to take I'm going to start with a darker shade here, so that's just the medium, and go towards the center of the flower. Sometimes it's just outlining an edge like that. Just a little bit of color like that. And then I'm going to go to the lighter shade. And I'm going to start by blending that with the medium shade. And I'm just coloring each one of these. Now I should say I stamped this. These are alcohol pens. So I stamped this with Memento Black, Tuxedo Black Memento ink, which is a water-based ink, so that if you use two alcohols, like an alcohol-based ink, permanent ink, and an alcohol pen, they'll just blend together. So we don't want that. We want opposites so that they do not attract. All right, so I'm just blending that center part in as I go. I'm not going to do this whole flower because I have much more to show you. All right, like that. And then I used a citrus yellow. That's citrus green. Where's my citrus yellow? Oh, here it is. Got panicky, thought I forgot it. So here's a citrus yellow. I want the darkest citrus yellow. We're coloring in that center right there. So here are a whole bunch of flowers that I've cut out with the die cut. We just need a standard die cutting machine for these. For my little leaves, I used my favorite shade of green, which is the dull green marker. Here we go. And I started off with, towards the bottom, a little bit of the darker green, then the lighter green, the middle, and then the light green at the top. Okay? So how I'm going to arrange these is I've put a little foam tape on the back of my flowers. And these are the same flowers, so I don't want them all going in the same direction. I'm going to be making a border down the side of my card. So I kind of want to turn them. See, the center is going this way, this way. We're going to do it this way. Okay, and they're all touching. This one's over a little too far. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to use my Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue, which I used on this entire card. And I'm just going to sort of tuck those in. Just like that. And then I've got my leaves. And I sort of like to double up on the leaves. Just like that. I'm going to put two there. We're going to put two here. And I've got some little leaves. Oops. And I always want to put that darker, oops, I have one of these upside down. I was just going to say I want to put the darker one, no, that is right, towards the inside. And the lighter tip towards the outside. That's not a rule, that's just how I'm doing it. All right. There we go. And there I've got my flower, my card with my pretty dot background and my flower border. So you guys, we have got a great money saver on these collections of stamps and dies, the duos, and the stencil, which is so versatile. So if you're on our Paper Wishes webisode page, then maybe we can zoom out a little bit on that, Steve. Just look to the right-hand side for the money saver. And if you're watching us on YouTube, in the description box below our video, you'll find a link that will take you back to paperwishes.com, the webisode page, and you'll see the money saver on the right-hand side. We've also got a product used drop-down menu below the video, and it'll show all the products I use, the blender brushes, the adhesives, the tape, everything. Or you can buy all the stamps and dies and stencils individually. So thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.